How's it going, everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a guy who many say is the pioneer, the god, the one who started it all for us bald guys. We are of course talking about Now, Michael Jordan was born in the 60s and he went to college in the early 80s, and we can see here with his hair looking sharp. He's always maintained this short haircut, but we can see there a nice solid hairline, a nice thick, a nice good amount of hair. So he's rocking his hair, but it really didn't take long into his playing career for that hairline to start taking a hit. And we can see him here in this interview that was filmed in 89, okay, late 1980s. We can see, have a look here at his hairline.
I was supposed to do that movie this past summer, but we never really could get my dates down. You know, it's about street basketball, as you know, and we all have been in street basketball, and I'm looking forward to the situation.
So you can see there his hairline, his hair obviously got a lot of noticeable thinning on the top there. And there's a ton of comments under this YouTube video about his hair. You know, a few people making jokes, a few people saying how terrible it looked. You know, they're saying here LeBron, people killing him for his hair, but Jordan was 10 times worse. But this guy sums it up nicely here. I've been reading comments, you know, about how bad MJ's head and how bad it looked. But these folks must be under 30 and don't realize that baldness wasn't the norm then like it is today. In fact, MJ was the trendsetter for head shaving. And like I said at the start of this video, a lot of people say that this is the guy who kicked it all off, okay? He was one of the first guys to say, you know what, I'm gonna deal with this hair loss by shaving my head. And he was the guy who made it acceptable. I mean, guys, we're talking about the biggest sports star of his time, right? All over the news, everybody knows who this guy is. The biggest mainstream sports star there was at the time. Suffering from hair loss, and he chose to shave his head. And so that's why people say, you know, he made it look cool, and he made this shaved head look mainstream. But you know, he wasn't the first guy ever to shave his head through going bald or for other reasons to rock this bald look. There's this actor here, Russian-American actor, Yul Brynner. Some older folks might know who this guy is. We can see his picture here with his rocking this sort of thin hair, and he shaved his head for his role in the movie The King of Siam, I do believe. I think this here is a picture from that movie. We can see him rocking that bald head, and he kind of kept this bald-headed look throughout the rest of his career, and it became his sort of trademark. But the problem was, the look then was still kind of a bit gimmicky, a bit exotic looking, and it wasn't mainstream. And that's why people say a cool guy like Michael Jordan really helped the bald head, the shaved head look, you know, become acceptable. So don't forget, right, everyone wanted to be like Mike. And there was some speculation that, you know, I see comments knocking around now, there's people saying on forums and things like that, you know, that he shaved his head to kind of improve the way he played basketball, improved his game. You know, some guys saying that it was for aerodynamics, but we can quite obviously know now later on, and of course looking at that interview there, most likely it was the fact, you know, to just get rid of that balding hair. His dad was bald, so it's obviously, you know, runs in their family, genetics here. So it's no wonder why it happened quite early on. And since his dad was bald, hey, why not rock the shaved head? And also I find it interesting that I couldn't find any interviews, I couldn't really find any places that he was talking about his hair loss, addressing it, or, you know, saying, oh yeah, I've shaved my head because I was going bald. There really isn't anything where he addresses it or talks about it. And so that suggests to me that, you know, he just got on with it, right? He saw that his hair was falling out. He had that short style anyway, and it seemed like he just got on with it confidently, you know, like he was neither here nor there about it. It is what it is, just fully accepted it, and he rocked that bold look. And so what's changed, right? Let's think what's changed from then to this day and age. Of course, there's gonna be guys, most people will know LeBron James, okay? LeBron James also has been in the news, had a lot of stick, a lot of comments about losing his hair. You can see LeBron here on the left with some quite noticeable hair loss, and then miraculously, A little bit later, he's got this strong hairline, and that is where these hair transplant allegations sort of surfaced. And he got a lot of stick online, a lot of people talking about it. Now, we don't know if it was a hair transplant for sure. He hasn't said that he's had one. He could have been using hair fibers or some sort of other method to kind of conceal that hair loss. But you see here, look, has LeBron had a hair transplant? A lot of people asking and speculating online about his hair. Now, like I said, LeBron's been open about idolizing Michael Jordan, right? Wearing the same thing, practicing the same shots.
I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid.
So why not follow suit? Why hasn't he gone ahead? You know, my hair's falling out. Why hasn't he just gone ahead and shaved it off? I mean, let me know what you think down in the comments section. I mean, I've got my own theories. We can see this site here talking about his hair transplant, and you know, lots of things like this. We've got a picture of LeBron here at the game, and check out this comment. It's pretty clear that number 23, right, LeBron has a lot of missing follicles. Makes you wonder why he isn't the spokesperson for Rogaine. The original rumors for his hair transplant started at the All-Star game in 2013. Check out this picture of his forehead, I mean 6 head. So you see these little jokes, these little nicks, tons of stuff on there, loads of memes out there about LeBron losing his hair, really being trolled about this whole hair loss stuff. So this was back in 2013, and then we can see him there later on in the year with his hairline looking somewhat problemless, right? Looking pretty intact. So it says there, that's when all the hair transplant rumors started to, you know, occur. See him at the game there with that really weak hairline, and then all of a sudden, no problem. So it says that, you know, he would never admit or endorse any of those sort of concealing products, and we see him there in practice or something with that receding hairline, you know, with that balding, again, once more quite prominent. And this article here asks you, right, why isn't he open and honest about it? It could be, you know, an instant revenue opportunity for him. It says here, it's probably because of the tons of memes like this continues to pop up all over the internet. You see this one here, look, June, yesterday. Comments like this, LeBron's hair looks like dead grass. Just tons and tons of comments I've seen about LeBron and his hair. And we've got to ask ourselves, why? Why is he getting so much stick for it? Now, in May 2017, he did actually acknowledge, you know, his hair, or acknowledge something about his hair like he was aware of it in this clip here. Check this out.
I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid. I shot fadeaways before I should have. I didn't go bald like Mike, but I'm getting there. But I'm getting there. But it'd be post-career though.
Saying, you know, he idolizes him, and he says, oh, the one thing that won't happen is I won't go bald like he did, right? And he's saying that will be post-career. So he's obviously kind of admitting there that he's not ready to let it go. And you can just see how his friend reacted as well at the back there, saying like, oh, okay then. Obviously acknowledging that, you know, even his friends are aware of it, and even his friends, they're not really supporting, kind of making jokes about it, putting faces, kind of laughing at his expense a little bit there. You can see it's this kind of big joke that everyone's sort of laughing about. But for LeBron, we move on to June 2017, so only a few months after this, and he went ahead and got a buzz cut.
Hit the rolling stone with the rolling on. Tag portfolio.
He's rocking this buzz cut, but it wasn't the reaction that he wanted. I don't know if he was trying this out, you know, kind of, oh no, you know, he went for the buzz cut because he wanted to see how it would look, how people would react. And then when people reacted badly, he kind of said, oh no, you know, it's just a bit of a joke. I just did it because of the whole Michael Jordan thing. And again, people reacted badly to it. They made jokes about it. It says here, oh, LeBron James shaved his head, the internet lost it. And now he's kinda just like Mike, the internet lost it. You know, again, all the memes came out, all the jokes came out, all the trolling came out about him, you know, shaving his head and going bald. So why is it that when Michael Jordan did it, no one said anything? It was cool, he made it cool. But now years later, LeBron kind of doing the same thing, and everyone's trolling him for it. Well, I think there is a big difference in how they approach this whole hair loss thing. We know, right, people say negative things to other people to try and bring those people down. When those people are feeling insecure about their own stuff, they say negative things to other people to make themselves feel better, okay? It's just a fact of life, it's human nature, that's what people do. And often people go for those easy targets. Obviously, LeBron's hair loss is a problem for him. I mean, it's obvious that he is using some kind of concealer or something like that. I mean, that's not even questionable. You know, he's had whether it's a hair transplant, whether it's hair fibers, or whatever, he's obviously doing something. So he's not acknowledged the fact that he is going bald. He hasn't embraced it, he hasn't owned it, and therefore people see it as an easy target. People see it as something that they can, you know, make jokes at him for, because they know that he hasn't owned it and he's not confident with it. It's an obvious insecurity for him here. You know, for Michael Jordan, he just went with it, shaved it off, and that sort of ballsy action, that sort of decisive action, that decisive move to just, you know, end it right there, it commands respect for people. And look, he's gone on to be named, quote unquote, as the guy who sort of revolutionized this bold look for balding men, right? But the problem with LeBron is he's done the opposite, right? He's tried to hide it, hasn't really acknowledged it, hasn't owned it. People see it as an easy target, and so they have attacked him for it. So what can we learn from Michael Jordan's story of hair loss and story of shaving his head? Well, again, it shows us that no one is immune to this whole hair loss thing. And this post here shows that there's this misconception still that losing your hair and going bald seems to happen to a minority of men. We can see here the poster asking, what's up with great players going bald? Specifically MJ, LeBron, and KD. Do they just devote so much of their body and conditioning to begin to bald? I believe Jordan started balding before he went and started shaving. And most believe that LeBron has had some kind of hair treatment. They seem to have started losing their hair at a relatively young age. What is happening here? This poster here nicely says, I think we must underestimate how many men in general start losing their hair even at a fairly young age. And that's true, right? There seems to be this misconception about losing your hair. And so when it does happen to someone who is young, in their mid-late 20s, people who are kind of unaware of this whole hair loss thing thinks, oh, there must be something wrong with them, or oh, it's like this huge deal. And that's honestly because, you know, guys are embarrassed about it. Guys are covering it up. You've got guys like LeBron, right? You've got actors, you've got celebrities, and, you know, just general people, the general population. Guys, they don't want to talk about it, okay? They're not honest about it. They're not honest with themselves, and they're not honest with other people because they find it embarrassing. And because of that, it's not out there. People aren't aware of it. It's covered up, and the cycle continues. Guys who are new to losing their hair also see, oh, no one else is going through this, or, oh, you know, it's just me who suffer from this. Then they feel embarrassed about it. They don't talk about it. But actually, what they don't realize is just how many guys are suffering from it, but they're covering it up. They're shying away from it, and they're not kind of acknowledging this anxiety. They're not acknowledging the insecurity that comes from it all. You know, it's this secret thing that they feel bad about, they feel insecure about, and they don't, you know, they're not addressing it, they're not announcing it to, you know, to all their friends, family, announcing it to the world. But hey, that is exactly what we're trying to change here at Bald Cafe. We're getting it out there. We're having this discussion. We're having the awkward, embarrassing discussion about hair loss. You know, we're sharing our stories because that's the only way to get this out there, right? That's the only way to allow guys to not feel this shame, right? This shame, this embarrassment that they feel when they're losing their hair, because at the moment, there just isn't enough guys out there owning it, being honest about it, being role models. There's still this sort of handful of guys doing it. And so kudos, right? I really respect every guy who has owned it, right? Who has owned it, because when you own it, when you own those insecurities like that, you put them out there for people to you put them out there on display, you know, that sends such a strong, powerful message to people. And at the end of the day, if you own insecurities like that, you go with it, you rock it, no one can attack you for that, no one can make you feel bad about it, because, hey, there's nothing anyone can say to you that can make you feel bad about something that you yourself has accepted. And listen, Michael Jordan, you know, he showed us just that. He showed that the biggest sports star in the world, you know, can go bald with dignity, with grace, And hey, so can you, so can a plethora of other balding men. You can lose your hair with that pride intact, with that dignity, with that confidence still intact. You don't need to go down that road of hiding from it, covering it up, being ashamed about it. You can tackle it head on, and you can carry on with your life. You can go on with it even more confidently, be even more successful than if you'd have never had to deal with that hardship, deal with that frustration, and deal with that setback of losing your hair as a guy. But he's just added to the list of inspirations for all of those guys out there, for all of us rocking the shaved head and owning that baldness. So listen guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as always. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button, leave it a cheeky like. And hey, if you want me to make any more of these videos about other guys out there, then just drop the name down in the comment section below. I want to thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.